to Donald Trump and consolidating this and trying to remove all doubt, I want you to take a look at how he is faring in what will be key battleground states that together account for 68 electoral votes. These are 3 states. This is the national poll showing Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump essentially tied. This is Florida, I should say. But as we rifle through Pennsylvania and we wrap up Ohio, these are all 3 states that Barack Obama won 4 years ago. There's a distinct possibility, as polling goes now, that Donald Trump could do that, and this could be maybe a closer than thought electoral contest. Remember, it's 270 electoral votes that determine the next president, not exclusively the popular vote. Karl Rove on all of that, great historian as well. Were you surprised by those battleground state numbers, Karl?
Yeah, I was. I thought they were good news for Donald Trump. If you look inside the internals, what it looks like is that he is doing a better job of consolidating Republicans behind him in the immediate aftermath of his Indiana win than Hillary Clinton is in amalgamating Democrats to her cause. She's still in a primary. For most Republicans, the primary ended last Tuesday night, and they quickly moved behind their party's presumptive nominee.
You know, a lot of it depends on just how aggressively, I guess, Donald Trump comes out of that convention, how united it is, and this issue as well as how much money is spent. Now, it wasn't too long ago, and I want you to react to this, Karl, where he was sort of hemming and hawing about whether it would be self-funded through the primaries, that is, he was self-funding it, or through the election. Now, he had told me back some time ago, the last time I was chatting with me, that no, there was no ironclad rule that said he was picking up the tab right through November. I want you to react to this.
I'm self-funding. I don't want anybody's money. But if Sheldon gives to him, he'll have total control over Rubio. And that's the problem with the way the system works.
If you become the nominee of the Republican Party, the argument is that you'd have to spend a lot more, and that could get very, very pricey. Are you prepared for that? That you would shell out all that money?
Well, no, I don't mind spending it. Once we go through that, then the party kicks in and, you know, billions of dollars comes in. Everybody wants to support. I think we'll have great spirit. That's a different thing. But going all the way through the nomination, I'm not going to accept any.
All right, I'm sorry. What's a different thing? In other words, if you get the nomination, other money comes in to help pay for this, or it's still your money paying for the campaign?
Oh, yeah, after that, the party comes in and they raise, you know, a lot of money. But it's not money that I'm raising. The party by that time will raise the money. And the party's been very fair to me. You know, I signed the pledge, and the pledge is that we honor a lot of different things.
But what if it's a Sheldon Adelson, right? What if it's a Sheldon Adelson raising money on behalf of the party? Aren't you beholden to him?
Well, I think that what's going to happen is people are going to put money in, maybe for the party if they believe in what the whole party stands for. But I haven't gotten that far. I mean, what my pledge is and what I've said very strongly, I'm going through the entire process through the nominating process. And at that point, I guess at the very end, the party kicks in, and that's fine with me. But I'm not going to be dealing with people. I don't care.
What do you make of that? He was so telegraphic then that if he got the nomination, then from that point on, it's no longer exclusively self-funded. Pretty clear, but what do you think?
Well, I think it's more complicated than that. Early on, he was saying, I'm the only candidate who can't be bought. I'm funding my own campaign. And then we got into this sort of quirky phase of it's going to be, you know, I'm willing to have the party kick in the general election. But the party is limited in what it can spend money on. And, for example, June 8th, the Democrats, the super PAC supporting Hillary Clinton, is going to begin spending $130 million attacking Donald Trump. And it's a real question whether or not the party can spend a dime to help him in response before July 18th. And then after July 18th, there are various federal election laws that come into play that limit how much the party can directly spend on his behalf. So Trump, I think, is treading in dangerous water here because he led people to believe that one of the main selling points of his candidacy was he was paying for his own campaign and no other rich people were contributing money to him so they could buy him. And now he's going to be in a place where either one of two things happens. He's going to have to depend on the Republican National Committee to do everything, and they're limited by both resources and legally from doing certain things.
But they're ready to do it, right, Karl? Sheldon Adelson is ready to do it. These other gazillionaires are ready to do it.
You know, I don't know, but I do think that if he's going to have to be clear in his signal. Remember, it was just a couple of weeks ago that he said, I don't want any super PACs. Super PACs are bad. There's going to be a scandal. bad things are going to happen. I don't want super PACs. Well, the way that Sheldon Adelson and others could support him is through a super PAC, not necessarily. They're limited to giving $300,000 to the Republican National Committee, and not all of that money. In fact, only a fraction of that money could be spent on behalf of him.
Do you think his backers care about that distinction?
You know, they don't in one sense, but they ought to in a practical impact, because if he doesn't find a way to resolve this, if he doesn't find a way to pump a couple of $100 million of his own money into the general election race, he could be wildly outspent on television ads. And while he can compensate for some of that with earned media activities, he can't compensate for it all.
Karl Rove, thank you, my friend.